Hello, everybody. Just a little introductory note. There were some derogatory comments made about my wife in the last video. She deleted them before I could see them, but just she's working her butt off to try to get us to help us to survive, and I don't appreciate that. And I will deal with it appropriately if I see it. A bombshell letter from a U.S. federal prison could give President Trump the green light for bigger military action against Venezuela. Hugo Barrios, once Venezuela's top military intelligence general and a three-star officer, wrote from prison that the Nicolas Maduro government is not just a dictatorship, it is a giant criminal cartel called the Cartel of the Suns. He says the regime deliberately sends deadly fentanyl, violent gangs, and spies into the United States. I quote, I absolutely support President Trump's policy towards Venezuela, Carvajal wrote. Quote, it is self-defense. The regime I served is at war with you, close quote. Carvajal says Venezuela works with Cuba, Colombia, guerrillas, FARC and ELN, and the terror group Hezbollah to flood America with drugs. More than 250,000 Americans have died from fentanyl overdoses during 2021, and Caravella claims many of those deaths were planned by the Venezuelan government as a weapon. He also warns that voting machines, Carnavella says, the Smartmatic election software, parts of which are used in Dominion, ES&S, and Hart InterCivic machines across the U.S., was created for Venezuela to rig elections. I remember this back when, during the first re-election, um, for Chavez, the voting machines were an issue back then before it ever hit the United States. I put the head of IT in charge myself, he wrote. Quote, the system can be altered. This is a fact, close quote. He does not say every U.S. election was stolen, but says Maduro's people have contacts inside American election companies. The former general also says the violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Agua, was purposely sent into the U.S. through the open border to cause chaos on Maduro's orders. The confession comes at a tense moment. The week President Trump announced that the U.S. military will soon start striking drug smuggling targets on Venezuelan soil, not just boats at sea. We know, quote, we know every route, we know every house, Trump said Wednesday. Warships, submarines, and 15,000 troops are already moving to the Caribbean. Some Democrats, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta, say hitting targets inside another country could be illegal. The White House calls the drug boats and land bases narco-terrorist targets, the same legal category as ISIS. Caravella's letter gives Trump's team powerful new evidence that Venezuela is not just a drug source. It is an enemy state using drugs, gangs, and possibly election tampering as weapons against America. The ex-general ends his letter with the stark warning, quote, the regime I served is not merely hostile, it is at war with you, close quote. He calls Trump's military response, quote, justified, necessary, and proportionate. The White House has not commented on the letter yet, but sources say it is being studied at the highest levels as the administration decides how far to take the fight against Venezuela's narco regime. I'm still reporting from just outside the citadel of world freedom. Good evening.